Okay, guys. So I'm trying to figure out how to get the lights to not be so bright on the camera, but I haven't figured it out yet. So Jeremy's not here to roll his eyes at me when I say, do you want to do another video? So we're doing a video. So we're going to do more videos this week than we did before, like on a daily basis. Reason for that. So I think that Liberia is an excellent place for people to come. I think it's great for, there's certainly missions to do here. And there's certainly like youth groups, mission trips. This is a great place. One thing that I think I didn't know before I came to Liberia is how safe it can be. The spirit of hospitality of the Liberian people is great. It's not recommended for Americans to travel at night. It's not recommended for anyone to travel at night here. There's not a lot of security. There's not a lot of lights. So at night, you should go home. Just like you shouldn't probably be on a boat at night unless you really know what you're doing. Like, it's just, yeah, maybe don't do it. The roads aren't great. You're going to get a flat tire. You can have a wreck. Like, it's just not as safe, but it's not because there's just bad guys everywhere. It's more just like the infrastructure of the roads and the businesses aren't open and there's just not access for people. So I wanted to show you guys. So I'm at the Tropicana and we stay here. If you stay for longer than 3 weeks, you get a discount. And if you get referred by like me or some, people that have stayed here before, they usually give you a discount too. So this is my breakfast. It's included in my room stay. So when we were staying along like lengthy stays in a small room with all of our family, like 5 of us, with breakfast like this included for everyone, we whittled them down to 100 a night. It's really supposed to be more than that, but they're pretty flexible if you're gonna stay and if you're a good house guest. They do not have salt here, and my blood pressure is fantastic, so everyone knows I have excellent blood pressure. But I can't live without my salt, so I brought salt this time. And that's just is what it is. But my room here, so I have a small room. I have just like it's king size bed, probably king or queen, a bathroom, shower, sink. It's all kind of one studio apartment. I'm so extroverted that's why we're gonna have to do more videos, because I'm alone. And I'm not scared I lived alone for like, I want to say like 6 years, like 6 or 7 years. Because I'm trying to remember the math on it. My roommate got married and I was in grad school, and then I was like, kind of like, I need to study, and I don't know that I want another roommate because I really need to buckle down. I was in, PA school, and then I lived alone, and then until I met Jeremy and got married. So I can live alone and it was fine, but I have my dog, and it's different when you have nothing with you. Like, the rhythm of my life has always had at least a dog. Even as an infant, we had like a dog that was there all the time, like sleeping on my playpen, following me around. So for me to be alone is gonna result in more videos. But I just want to share about Liberia. So I think it's safe to come here. We're at the Tropicana. It's basically a hotel on the beach. So like a motel, you would imagine, like a motel that has little kitchenettes that you stay in. It's really nice in a lot of ways. It's very nice. But it's like, I have a burner stove that's hooked up to a propane tank. So if I wanted to cook, I would need to, pay $30 for them to hook up a propane tank. Sometimes it's already there. Sometimes you pay $30. And it has to be turned on and off, like a camping stove. So it's kind of like a luxury camper would be. This one has an adjoining room. I've not seen this room before. I know Carrie and Sam stay here, I think 1 or 2 nights. It's a smaller room, probably the least expensive room. But it adjoins to the front one. So later this afternoon, I'm moving to a bigger room, because I want to have like a entertaining area, so that people can come and see if when people come over, they're not just sitting with me in my bedroom with like little places to sit and be comfortable. I kind of want there to be a little separation there of all my, suitcases and stuff. So, but today I'm going to the orphanage to visit our children. I'm going to give out a lot of presents. I'm doing my best to set up video chats with the families, since I have permission to do that from Jimbo now, to try to facilitate them opening gifts from their families, and trying to see if they can just connect with them a little bit better. I'm going to see Albert. I'm excited about that. Nelson's going to be my chauffeur all week. He says that he's out of school. The kids are out of school. He has nothing else. He's gonna drive me. He's like my guy. He's like, I'm gonna be with you. And I'm like, all right, that's great. I love chats with Nelson as well. Nelson is probably like in the top 10 most intelligent people in Liberia. And ahead of him would be his wife. But I mean, there you go. So I like spending time with Nelson to hear his work here in Liberia, his philosophies on, the direction they want their country to go, and Albert the same. So I'm sure there's a part. I've already texted with Albert. He knows I'm here. He's going to meet me later today at that orphanage, and I'm sure, I don't know if he's like apprehensive about talking to me because we're obviously, everybody's excited about the adoption. So I just want to tell him, I hope that he hears it when I say it, and I hope I remember to say it exactly this way. But whether this adoption process takes 2 months, 2 years, or 10 years, I'm in. I'm on your side, and I'm in. So whatever that work looks like, I like it here. So and hopefully that, because he's under a lot of scrutiny right now because he's the director of a program that used to be the smoothest almost in the world. Like international adoption in terms of smoothness, success, going well. I mean, I think they had 1 disruption ever. And I mean, there's like 50 kids a year. I mean, for a small company, this is amazing. And happy. These kids are happy. He follows them on social media, talks to their families still, a lot of them. And I know them as well. So like, it's a successful program. So I'm excited to see Albert. But when I move rooms, I'll give you guys a view, because I literally will have a view of the ocean. Like the beach is right there. The beach in Liberia can get kind of dirty with a lot of trash and stuff, but the security here at Tropicana and the guys that work here, they keep the beach pristine where we're staying. So we'll get to go to the beach. So hopefully we'll get some fun. So I'm gonna eat breakfast. I think I'm leaving my watch on, Florida time. It'll eventually update itself, but it's a Garmin, so it's not like an Apple Watch where it automatically does it. You kind of have to tell it to. But eventually it might just click over. But I like being close to Florida time. I just do. I don't know why, because it's 4:42 a.m. in Florida, and I'm awake, chipper. I did sleep really well. I fell asleep a little bit, and then I woke back up, and then I brushed my teeth and, really settled in and truly went to sleep. So right now, Jeremy, it's 4:42 a.m. So he's asleep. So, but I wanted to show this Hope bracelet. I've been wearing it a lot. It says Hope. It's hard to maybe appreciate. It's not a Noonday bracelet, believe it or not. It's actually a Crown Free bracelet. Crown Free is a company similar to Noonday that does anti-trafficking merchandise. So merchandise, they use, like this bracelet was made by a trafficking survivor. So they use small businesses that rescue trafficking survivors and put them to work. Because if you're being trafficked, it's usually because that's how you're eating. It's not always like kidnapping and slavery. Most trafficked people actually never leave their home. They will, surrender their body to things for food. And it's not necessarily voluntary as much as it is like necessity, but they don't always understand that there's other options. And sometimes there's not other options. So to feed my family, what would I do? So this is kind of a interesting thing to just take stock in. But this Hope bracelet is beads. It's really soft, hand sewn in South Africa by a trafficking survivor. So I think it's appropriate that I wear it here. Noonday has that same mission and doesn't focus as much on trafficking like as their theme, but many of the Noonday artisans that are employed by small businesses that contract with Noonday are trafficking survivors. So these are friendship bracelets. They're back in stock on Noonday's website. You can get them in a pack of 3. You can get them in a pack of 2. They're $14, and they're also the beads. They're sewn, and then they have this. So I brought some for our Liberian daughters. And then these are the Eclipse bracelets made in Uganda. So I'm wearing those today. And I have my Belief necklace too. So if you want to shop Noonday for our son's adoption, our daughter's adoptions at the moment are paid. Completely paid. And I have enough to travel back for them twice. So our daughter's adoptions are paid. They will, one thing that's not paid is their pre-adoptive care. So $250 a month per kid. So the girls is $500 a month, and then adding on our son is $250. So $750 a month. That is not paid. Our plan to pay that is actually to do our textile drive, the fill the box stuff. So if you want to bring clothes, shoes, textiles, suitcases. Most of the suitcases I do just recycle with fill the box, but occasionally if the timing works out for my travels, and I take one. So the suitcases are here. I know Amanda with Donate for Kids gave me a couple suitcases, and of course Ashley Booker always gives me stuff. She gave me a suitcase, and so one of the wheels on one of the suitcases is a little iffy, but it's hanging in. But I'll leave those suitcases here when I come home, and I'll just come home with my backpack. So I'm eating my breakfast. the breakfast at the Tropicana is good. I just want to be clear though, they don't always understand exactly what I'm saying. So I said I don't really care what they give me, probably. I'm a little, actually, I do care, but like, as long as I have one or two things that I really like, I don't really care what else they add. So I asked for tea, but I got apple juice. It's really good though. But I got apple juice, but I asked for tea. Because they're like, what would you like to drink, coffee, tea, or juice? And I was like, I think tea. But then they brought me apple juice. Well, the lady that brought me the apple juice, I feel like she knows me from before. Like, they know me. They remember us here. She's like, you're here by yourself. And so maybe she knows that our family always loves apple juice. I personally don't ever drink it because I feel like it has a lot of sugar in it. But today I'm going to drink it. I asked for a cheese omelet with nothing else on it. Which I did get a cheese omelet. Like a plain cheese omelet is what I asked for. But it does have tomatoes and onions in it, which I do like. But a plain cheese omelet is a cheese omelet with tomatoes and onions in it. I got some cucumbers. I said I didn't want any meat, but I still got their version of sausage, which my kids loved when they were here, so I'm not. And then there's a small piece of cake and plantains and cucumbers. So the cucumbers and the meat I will not eat. They're the things I will. But it's included, and it's a good breakfast. So this will last me. This is kind of going to be my brunch. This will last me a while. And then they have a full menu and a full restaurant bar situation. So even when I got here last night, it was late, I was able to order chicken wings and french fries and had that, so it was good. So later this afternoon I'll move to the bigger room and I'll show you guys that. And I guess the next video will probably be from the orphanage of our kids opening gifts. I don't think I'll be able to splice that into our YouTube video, but I'll think of something. Bye. Okay, you guys, this is another super tired face. This is my lion hair. I did a video this morning. I'm so glad because now this one can be short. I'm exhausted. But I'm clean and I'm fed and I'm going to sleep soon. I gotta kind of do some cleaning up here. My kids that we're adopting are gonna get to take a little road trip. I have approval from the director for them to have a small road trip to come to my hotel tomorrow and see the ocean for the first time and go swimming, which is like, oh, it's crazy. Like, how do you get to be that old and not see the ocean? Of course, I live in Florida, so the ocean's there. But like, to see these kids, I mean, today they got gifts for me and I was able to do a video call with Jeremy and my girls in the States, and they got to open the gifts that I brought for them, and they got to show their dad, and they, you know, and the connection was perfect. The Wi-Fi was perfect. It was just weirdest thing ever because it's never good there. God bless Albert and Nelson Alberts, the director at the orphanage, that came to help. I had this very solid plan that I was going to hotspot Google Meet from my phone to my tablet so the kids could hold the tablet and see, and it could be easier because the phones are so small for video chat. And Nelson and I had this plan, and it just wasn't working out because of the way the iPhone communicates with the Wi-Fi, and it was just, we couldn't get it to work. And Albert came to our rescue and was like, what's wrong? Is it working, or what are we doing? And we told him the problem, and he immediately took my tablet and hooked my tablet to his Wi-Fi on his Android phone. And I don't think that Albert goes to the orphanage frequently, and he brings them their food and supplies, and he always brings treats for the kids. And like today, he brought them candy. And, you know, it was just, he takes good care of them, but he doesn't stay all day. You know, he's there for an hour or two and then he leaves and he comes back. He's their director. He's not their caregiver. He's not their, they have a staff of 5 nannies and 2 security guards that are there all the time that care for the kids. And, he stayed all day because his Wi-Fi was the only one working. And I was like, Albert, these parents have to connect with these kids. You know, these kids need to connect. I know the kids are fine. They're being taken care of. But so all the kids got to talk to their parents that are matched, which is something that they're allowed to do. And Small World has gotten a phone dedicated to calling. So there's a phone and Wi-Fi data so the caregivers can call. But getting the parents to connect, getting the parents' phone number to the right place, getting the time, because one of the families is in Hawaii, which is a 10-hour time difference from Liberia. So that's challenging. So I did that phone call last at 5 p.m. because it was 7 a.m. there. And I'm going to have to tell them that the next time they talk to him, they're going to have to probably wake up at 6 because it's hard. If I do his call at 5 p.m., which they will, I'm sure, but if I do his call at 5 p.m., I probably won't leave the orphanage until 6, which puts me back here at dark, which is a little, I'm kind of infringing on their kind of bedtime routine and how they wash everybody clothes, like get everybody in bed, fed and in bed and all of that. But those moments, some of those kids had never heard their parents' voice other than maybe a video or a picture here and there. They'd never had a conversation. And just, gosh, to be like a front row seat for those moments is just crazy. Like, it's just this surreal experience that they're like, it's like getting a 3D ultrasound and knowing for sure it's a real thing. Like, it's a real baby, but that baby gets to talk to you. So one of the little girls, I think she got her a Barbie doll and a dress, and she like wanted to put it on immediately. And some of the boys got some art supplies, and some of them, I mean, you know, one family sang "You Are My Sunshine" to their kid, and I was like, that's just like, I'm done now. I'm done. And I've got 4 phone calls to go after this "You Are My Sunshine" serenade. And which, I mean, I kind of prompted, I was like, do you want them to sing to you? Because they do performing arts. That's one of their things. And so he had seen them sing and dance before. So I just was like, do you want them to sing to you? Because he sang to them. He sang the Spider-Man song to them. So precious to just be a part of that and to give encouragement to the staff. And I had gifts for everyone, and then watch the boys play with the soccer ball and I brought in American football and jump ropes and all their games and all their fun things. It was amazing. So tomorrow I get to spend a lot of quality time with the 3 that we're adopting. Our son that we're adopting, he knew that he hadn't been formally like told by the director yet, because the director knew I was visiting and just hadn't had a chance to really sit down with him. But one of the head care nanny knew, and our daughters knew, and I think maybe they knew, but they knew from her because she knew maybe from me. But it wasn't anything that was supposed to be a secret, but just the timing of telling him. So then we had Nelson had visited, and it had come up like he wanted to get their picture and send to, I mean, he was just like asking them, like, do you, he wanted to talk to them and say like the excitement, like, do you know your mom's coming? But when he asked him that, he didn't know that I was coming. Because, I mean, he knew that I was visiting, but he didn't know that we had chosen to adopt him. And so then my girls, I think, were trying, like, they knew, my Liberian daughters obviously knew, because they had told me that they knew on the last phone call, but I didn't know that he didn't know. So he found out a couple of days ago, kind of, you know, through like just, you know, Nelson asking, like, do you know your mom's coming? And him being like, I don't have American parents yet. So that was really special. And then just to hug him myself and to be like, did you hear that we want to adopt you? And he was like, yeah. I was like, is that okay with you? And he was like, I mean, I think his face hurt from smiling. He smiled so much today. But it was just nice. And he's so bonded to our other Liberian daughters. And they're just like 3 little, like, just, they're in it together. And, but, you know, Jeremy had written him a letter, and my other daughters had written him a letter. And he can't read, he can read some, but not yet. He's not like a fluent reader yet. So I couldn't read it to him because I'd be like all sobby puddles. And then here you are, just this interaction of emotion. And I'd just be blubbering it out. So I handed it to one of the caregivers. Well, one of the caregivers that was reading his letter to him aloud for the group did not know that we had chosen to adopt him. And she like read the 3rd sentence from Jeremy's letter to our son about the honor to have a chance to be his dad and all these like beautiful things that he said. She started just jumping up and down and praising Jesus and laughing and just hooting and hollering like it was just the best thing. And I mean, and after she did it for him, she kept going. I was like, I'm gonna get a quick video of this. One of the nannies picked him up and put him on her back and was like cheering like he's the conquering hero. And it was just this moment of celebration for him. And it was amazing to see, because we don't get to see that. Like, we don't get to see the moment they really know that their parents are coming. And the kids that got to see their parents on a video call for the first time, the video call is a consolation prize for a process that should have been complete a long time ago. But the fact that we found a consolation, something, I think it mattered so much. And it was just like this. I mean, I'm in puddles. Like, I held it in all day, but now I'm just going to sit here and boo-hoo. I mean, it was, and just laugh, because it was just amazing to experience. So, I'm extremely tired, obviously. I'm like lying here, no makeup, exhausted, but happy. And we'll get to have fun tomorrow. And, I think that the length of this process and the delay is just probably the most heartbreaking thing that could happen to an international adoption program, other than closing altogether, which I guess is always a possibility. However, to be able to have this opportunity to stand in this gap between these kids and their parents, and to just show what the truth is. No sugarcoating it, no changing it, no saving it, no making it better than it is, but just opening the door with Google Meet, just opening the door between that orphanage and their parents has been the most just comforting thing for me, to just see it. Because I experienced the same loss that the other parents do, but I've met my kids. And to introduce them to their kids, it's amazing. Just amazing. I can't even. It was a privilege and an honor today. So, and my kids kept sneaking up, because I did it in an upstairs office, and my kids kept sneaking up there, and I was like, listen, you're going to get all day with me tomorrow, but today, this has got to be about them. You got all your presents. Go play with your presents. And I gave our son walkie-talkies, Spider-Man walkie-talkies. And obviously that's a group. You can't play with those by yourself. So I could hear the walkie-talkie. They were sneaking up to try to listen, like try to sneak up and find out what I was doing. And you hear the walkie-talkie going off. So I could just imagine these kids. They didn't know what a walkie-talkie was at all. I don't think they've ever seen them before. But they were playing with them, and it was just so funny to hear like the clicks of the walkie-talkie down the hallway while they try to hide from me and try to edge in and find out. They all wanted to know what the other kids' gifts were, or how their phone call went, and it was just crazy. But the moment that our son was being paraded like a conquering hero because we chose him was just crazy. Like, that was the best moment ever. It's just to watch my other kids, my other Liberian daughters, just smile. And just, they're so proud of him and so excited for him. They're just grinning from ear to ear, just laughing with this huge crowd of kids that, again, they're 16 unmatched. And that's a lot. 16, 17. They're 16 unmatched. And when they see those moments, they don't think, I wish that were me. That's not how they think. They think, that's so great. One day that will be me. One day that will be me. And they're right. They're right. So thank you for listening. I apologize for my snot, my tears, my old lady face, and my lying hair. Today was a good day.